What's up, everybody? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos. As promised, I'm bringing you a yellow Bardock leader deck. This was the most requested leader from last week's All the Right Spice. I'm sorry it took me so long to get here, but you know, excuses are just as good as buttholes. Everybody has them and they stink. Yeah, that's a dad joke, and I learned that from my manager at work. So anyway, I have no excuses. I just haven't been able to get it out. But today, we're going to showcase the deck. It is pretty good. And moving forward after the Mecha Frieza errata on May 1st, I can definitely see this deck getting some play. So if you guys like the yellow Bardock leader as much as I do, it's my favorite leader of this set, please feel free to use this build to your heart's content. That's why we do these things, so we can help the community. Really quick, I'm pretty sure this is the first time you guys are seeing this mat in my video. I had this custom made just so you guys, you know, can have consistency with what we do here. I do make mats. I do have them printed, so if you guys are interested in making or designing a custom mat, I can either design it for you and have it printed, or you can send me an image and I can have it printed for you. But we'll take care of all that stuff. You know, you can either message me or hit me up on Discord or send me an email. You guys know how to reach me if you need me. So if anybody's interested, just let me know. All right, enough with the banter. Bardock, yellow leader. This guy is so good, and I'll tell you why he's so good. He draws a card every single turn. Now, this front side, his auto is when he attacks a leader, you draw a card. Now, some people might not want to attack leaders, but it's okay to do it with Bardock because he's drawing you a card, and the way this deck is built, you're not really going to, you know, suffer too much when you attack your opponent. He awakens at 4 or less life, and he untaps 2. So it's good that he draws on the front side because it balances the lack of drawing when he awakens. And his awakened side is Unwavering Justice Bardock, Super Saiyan. His auto is when he attacks, he draws a card. You're not limited to attacking a leader. And he has an auto once per turn. When a Saiyan you control is KO'd, this card gains 5,000 plus power for the duration of the turn. So whenever one of your Saiyans is KO'd, he gets a Senzu Bean, so it becomes 20k. And that's really good because it forces your opponent to combo with their leader to do damage. So they have to combo up to 20k just to do damage, and they're wasting a card out of their hand in order to do that. And you'll see that the way that this deck is built, you're not going to be taking too many hits to the leader. So that's Bardock. Let's get into the deck itself. We are running a yellow deck, obviously. It's primarily mono yellow, but there is some black towards the end. So let's get right into it. We have 4 Youthful Bulma. This is basically your 1-drop Boo for yellow. It's a really good card. It replaces itself. This deck draws a lot of cards, so it's okay to charge Bulma as energy because you do need yellow energy in this deck. But this is a good turn 1 play. If you're going first, charge an energy, play a Bulma, replaces itself, pass per turn. It's an easy 5k combo on board if needed, and Bulma is just a good card. Then we have 4 Unwavering Solidarity Shugesh. Wow, that was tough to say. So basically, everybody knows what Shugesh does. It's abused in the Mecha Apes and stuff like that. It's a really good super combo. When you're at 4 or less life, you can play him for 10,000 combo power, and you get to summon a Saiyan from your hand with 3 or less. So there's a lot of targets in this deck to do so. But basically, Shugesh is a super combo that allows you to defend and attack and also extend your plays. You have to run Shugesh in this deck. I tried experimenting with the Dodoria super combo from set 1. It's just not as good. Because the leader draws enough already as it is, you actually need this card to extend your plays. So 4 Shugesh. Then we have 3 No Opening Son Goku. This card's really good. He's kind of like your combo coup is what I like to call him, but he takes a life, so he helps you self-awaken. It's only on your turn, though, so when you attack, you tap an energy, combo with him, take a life, and then you have a body on board now, 15k body. So I like to do this as early as turn 1 just to get the awakening start going. I mean, most of the time your opponent is going to attack you because the psychology in the format right now is that if you have a leader that does not draw when you awaken, you're not negging by attacking your leader. So they're going to attack you, probably put you down to like 5 or 6. So having 1 or 2 of these is good, and it gives you a 15k body on board and something for them to attack. And remember, when your opponent KOs this, if you're awakened, your Bardock gets the Sensu Bean. So that's good. I like the Gokus. Then, of course, we have the good one, or the better one, I should say, the Explosive Spirit Son Goku. This is really great with your Shugesh combo. If they get too aggressive and they decide that they want to shotgun into one of their battle cards, if you're awakened, you can Shugesh, put this on board, blow it up, and the attack is negated, essentially. Even though, yeah, I don't even want to get into it as far as mechanics are concerned, but if they swing at you and you Shugesh and you pop it, the attack doesn't even go through. So I only run 2 for 2 reasons. I only have 2. I probably would run 3 if I had 3, but 2 is actually a good number. It just makes you more conservative with them, and it's searchable with Planet and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But it's a really good card because it gets rid of problems on the board. The card that you pop, though, it does have to be in rest mode. You can't pop active cards. And then we have the Daddy, Lord of the Apes, King Vegeta. This guy is really good. He's one of your main Shugesh targets. Basically, when you bring him on board, you can search your deck for an ape that's 5 or less. So when I bring him out, I usually just grab the Ape King because you're going to need it. The combo that I like to do is I like to make sure that I'm awakened, obviously, by like turn 3 or 4. Shugesh, bring him out. And then with the 3 energy that I have, evolve the ape and then set up my march for next turn. Obviously, this is an ape variant of Bardock Apes. Now that Mecha Frieza has been eroded, there's going to be some changing of the guard as far as what leaders go very well with the ape engine. So I'm going to try out the Bardock. Shout out to my boy, my teammate, Enrique. He's doing the apes with the Ginyu leader. And we're going to clash of Titans and see whose is better. But I personally like Bardock better, so that's just my opinion. But King Vegeta is really good. Then we have, for the 8 package, we have 4 Tora. I'm poor and can't afford to buy Bardocks, so this is why I run Tora. But Tora's not bad. I mean, essentially, he's a 20k blocker, and he's a single strike, so you're not really going to use him for attack. But he's kind of nifty because when you use him to combo, like when you combo with a Tora, if you have another Tora on board, you can evolve that combo card onto him, and then you could pop a card that's in rest mode. So it's not too bad. With King Vegeta makes your Saiyans 1 less combo cost in your hand. So if you swing with a card, and you have a Tora on board already, you can combo with this Tora if they have a rested battle card, and then just evolve it and pop. So it's not too bad. I like the Bardock better because it's double strike, so it's late game pressure. But they're like $30, $40 cards, so I'm not going to try to shell out $160 for a playset. That is not going to be my main focus on, as far as competitive decks are concerned. But I like Tora; he's not too bad. And then the other ape that we run, obviously this is the best one in the deck, is the Great Ape Prince Vegeta. He's a critical 20k blocker. When you combo with this card or when you summon it, the auto goes off. You look at the top 3 cards and you add an ape to your hand, and then you have to discard a yellow card. Now, just a quick clarification on his effect. The auto is not mandatory. The auto is up to 3 cards, but if you choose to look at any cards and there's an ape there, you have to add the ape. So the adding of the ape is mandatory and the discarding is mandatory, but looking is not mandatory. So you can look up to 3, which means you can choose 0 and not look at any cards if you don't want to pitch anything from your hand. But this works when he's summoned or when he's comboed with, so that's really good. And he's a critical attacker, so if it's early game, you just kind of poke with Vegeta, and you kind of just, lull them down till you get to lethal, and then you just go from there. But it's a really good card, and he's a blocker, and, the apes are just really good. And then, of course, we have the 3 King Vegeta ape. This is the best one. You evolve this on the little Vegeta for the little King Vegeta for 3 energy, 2 yellow and 1 random. And basically, he's a 25k double strike. He's a blocker as well. Yeah, he's not a blocker. Sorry about that. He's 25k double strike, but his effect is that he gives all other Saiyans on the board yellow Saiyans barrier, including himself. So he gives himself barrier. He gives all your other apes barrier. And he gives whatever other yellow Saiyan you have on the board barrier, which is busted. It's just really, really good. He can be searched with the little Vegeta. And he also gives your Saiyans in your hand one less combo cost. So you can use a 10k combo for 0 for free, basically. This card is really busted. It's really good. I never swing with this card. I just kind of leave him on board. I'm super paranoid that I'm going to get Mafubad or something when I swing if I'm playing against blue. But he is double strike, so if it's towards the end of the game and I can kind of read it right, you can kind of swing with him and push in for damage to win the game. King Vegeta is super good. Then we get on to some of the extra cards. Planet Vegeta. Planet Vegeta is a one-drop tutor. Basically, this card allows you to search your deck for any Saiyan with 4 or less cost, which is essentially like 85% of your deck, because the Apes are considered Saiyans also. So it's really good because you can toolbox your cards out, but also it has another auto that, and at the end of your turn, it restands all your Apes. So it like changes them from rest to active, which is insane because you can block with the Apes on your opponent's turn, and then they restand on your turn. But then when you attack on offense, they restand at the end of the turn with Planet Vegeta so that you can block again moving forward on your opponent's turn. Planet Vegeta is a great card. It's probably the best like one-drop card in the game because it doesn't restrict you to a yellow Saiyan. It's any Saiyan. So you could literally splash this in any deck that's running a yellow engine, so to speak, and you can search any Saiyan. It doesn't have to be a yellow Saiyan. It's too good. And then we have the really busted card, March of the Great Apes. It's a 4-drop extra card, 1 yellow, which is, don't even get me started. It's 1 yellow, 4 cost. It allows you to play 2 Apes from your hand with 4 or less, that cost 4 or less, and then you draw 2 cards. So you can play this on turn 4, play 2 Apes, draw 2 cards. You basically lose nothing. And if you do it the right way, you play it so that you haven't awakened yet. You tap 4, you play it, you bring out 2 Apes, draw 2 cards, awaken, untap 2. So now you have defense. It's insane. Like, March is just too good. You could put 20k bodies on board with critical. The one Vegeta has critical, and they all have blocker. If your King Vegeta's already on board with your planet, I mean, it's just insane. March of the Apes is too good. It's too good. Then we have some defense. We have Flying Nimbus, which is the best negate in the game right now. Basically, for 1 yellow energy, you can negate the attack. And if you pitch a card, they can only attack with 1 more battle card. So if you're playing your opponent and they swing with your leader, you kind of want to negate the leader attack because if they have a board full of creatures, they can only swing with 1 more. If they swing with a battle card, then you negate it. They can still swing with 1 more battle card and their leader because the leader is not considered a battle card. But Flying Nimbus is really good. In this deck specifically, because I want to awaken on my terms, I use these early so that I can control when I awaken to make sure that I maximize my plays. It doesn't always happen like that, but once you get to the late game with all your Apes on board, you have blockers anyway. So this is just kind of extra if it's not needed, mainly because you have your negates or your blockers on board. But it does protect you early game. That's why I like it. And early game, your opponent doesn't have big enough a board. So when they're swinging, they're usually swinging for like only 1 or 2. Then for the last yellow card, I run 3 Crusher Ball. Can't run Bloodlust in this deck. I like Crusher Ball because it has a good interaction with Tora and with the Explosive Spirit Goku because they can pop rested cards. So it's really good because it kind of gets around autos that trigger when your opponent swings. So, like, for example, a 3-drop Gotenks that when he swings at a leader, you discard a card. If you Crusher Ball that card, he doesn't get to swing, so he doesn't get his auto off. And also, if you're playing the Mirror and they march, you can Crusher Ball, and both of the Apes that come in are, in rest mode. And this doesn't choose, so even if King Vegeta's on board, you can get around it. So if King Vegeta's on board and they march, the 2 Apes they're coming down, you Crusher Ball, and they come out in rest mode. So it kind of saves you a little bit there that way. But Crusher Ball is really good because it sets your opponent back. That's what you kind of want to do defensively in this deck. You want to set them back so that you can go off on your turn. Then we have some black cards. We have 3 Time Patrol Trunks because he's the best overwhelm card in the game. Just being able to look at the top 2 cards of your deck and then choosing one or whatever. You just basically summon this for free. Choose a card that you need, and then you can swing with him or you can combo with him. He is a Saiyan, so he is searchable with a planet. It's just a really good card. I mean, Time Patrol Trunks will probably end up being one of the best cards in the game with like Kale and maybe like Senzubin, like just cards in general. Like they're just good. You can use them in any deck. But he's really good because he facilitates searching. And then the last black cards I have 2 of the Mass Saiyan, Evil Mass Saiyan from the promo, and then 2 from the expansion set. And the reason I run 2 and 2 is because this one helps me awaken, and this one gets rid of board. So essentially, if I'm seeing that my opponent is slow playing and I haven't been able to awaken, then I'll just bring this guy out, tap an energy, overwhelm 4, and then pop a card and take 1 from life to help me awaken. And then this guy kind of just clears the board of all the little dudes. The only downside to him is that he doesn't do blockers, which we all know that, but he does do blockers. So I like Mass Saiyan because it really poops on the vegan package, or the veggies. You know, if you bring out Mass Saiyan, if they have 2 Kabbas on board, Khalifas are free. So if you bring out Mass Saiyan and they have Kabba and Khalifa or whatever, I'll just pop all the Khalifas because, you know, they're 0. Oh no, but they're only free in the hand. Never mind, forget that. Sorry. So basically, he destroys Kabba. Like, you bring him out, you pop 2 Kabbas and another card, and then it kind of makes them have to go back up with the cost and stuff. But he can also pop, you know, Kale. He can also pop Khalifa. You know, he can also pop. If you get this card out before the mirror sets up barrier, you can pop an Ape. So there's a lot of good interaction with this card. And he's a 20k double strike, so he's a good finisher. Him, on the other hand, he's mainly here for awakening and just removing that 1 threat. But they both essentially cost the same. He's 5 for overwhelm and 1 energy. He's 4 for overwhelm and 1 energy. But originally, I was going to make this deck mono yellow, but there's just not enough yellow cards. There's not enough apes or anything like that. And I wanted to make this kind of competitive, so I figured I'd splash some black in there. Because it doesn't hurt when you splash black, because there's really no negative. And you're not gonna like aggro out the black cards. Like, they're just there if you need them, because this deck is semi-defensive. You know, because of the apes being blockers and stuff like that. You do get a lot of defensive plays with their abilities. So that was it, guys. Stay tuned for the next episode of All the Right Spice, so that we can see what our next leaders are going to be. But in the meantime, try this deck out, play it. Let me know how you guys did with it. Let me know what you guys think about it. And you know, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Discord. Thank you guys so much for the continuing support. We'll see you guys in the next video. Be there or be squared.